Hi everyone, greetings from National Skills Network, which is popularly known as NSN. And we are continuing with our expert talks. And today we have Mr. Vishwanath Kamath, who is the Managing Director of Fronius India Limited. Welcome to this talk, Mr. Kamath. We have long awaited to have this conversation with you. So today we will go ahead with our questions. We need to learn a lot about welding from you. So I would like to get started by asking you about the Fronius Innovation and Skill Center, where you are planning to take up many skill development related activities. So let's get into the topic and learn more about it.
Okay. Namaste to everyone, to all the viewers, and namaste, Ms. Madhuri Dubey. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak on this particular platform. You talked about welding. The moment somebody hear about welding, I don't think they get a very, very good feeling in their heart. They think it's a very rustic and not so glamorous job. But ladies and gentlemen who are all hearing me today, I would like to tell you that without welding, the whole world will not move.
Yeah.
And welding is the only profession with joints. There are many people who do the cutting, but we are the only people. In profession, we believe in joining and moving together. So we opened Fronius Innovation and Skills Center in Pune. And first and foremost, let me tell you that this is our own facility. This is the Fronius India invested close to 34 crores in this particular facility in the heart of Pune, the industrial area of Bosri. It's around 47,000 square feet facility, totally dedicated for welding innovation as well as skill. I must tell you why we renamed it as a innovation and skill center. Yes, this is first and foremost, this is our headquarter for India and SAARC countries operation. But we aptly named this as an innovation and skill center because here we encourage people to do innovations in welding. We encourage our customer to come with their welding challenges so that we can give them an innovative solution. And the second part of this particular headquarter, we talk about skill center. That I think this is spoken enough in this country, and we being the skill capital of the world, and welding being one of the prime mover in terms of manufacturing. So we want to take an active part in terms of building up the skills.
Yeah.
When I talk about innovation, I'm not talking about something which we are finding. We are not talking about something which are reinventing the wheel. We are only trying to do how to make a wheel run much more smoothly rather than reinventing. The welding innovations, the welding technology is already invented in Austria, or it's a continuous process getting reinvented every day. But how to do the technology transfer at the same time to find a solutions for our customer problem, how innovatively we do it, that is what is the idea behind this center. We have 6 robotic welding booths. We have 11 manual welding stations. We have 2 semi-automatic stations in our technology center. The idea behind this is customer can come to this center with his job, with his welding challenges, or we want to have an innovative solution. He can walk into our center. We will provide him the solution for his welding challenge. We'll try to, I'm not saying that everything I can find a solution here, but we'll do our best to get him a solution. Also, we'll give him a cost per that solution or the cost per part so that he can go back and then decide his budget and try to implement what is best suited for his budget or his scale of economics. And the second part of skill center, which we are talking, is that we want to encourage people to take up welding as a profession. We want the customers to find that welding is equally glamorous as a computer engineer. We want to provide, we want to give an atmosphere to our customers, students, or whoever visits our innovations and skill center that they must try their hands into welding at least once and to understand that what are the challenges welding can pose and how easily or how nicely welding can be learned. So that's the idea behind this new skill and innovation center. And as I said, we invested 34 crores. So we are trying to build up the world-class innovation and skill center at Pune so that we can it's a little bit from our side to make it welding as an aspirational career.
Okay.
Hope I answered it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And also knowing about your passion for welding, having seen you speaking and writing about it and so many events that you conduct, it's really something very phenomenal and very innovative, I should say. The way you have come up with campaigns like joining specialists, like the word you used, joining is very important, So now going from here, how do you foresee the welding in today's scenario when everybody is talking about industry 4.0? On the other hand, in India, you see both extremes, right? You still see welders sitting on the roadside using those very old equipment and, without any safety gear. On the other side, we have Fronius, which is so very international, so very sophisticated. So how do you think these two can come together?
Very nice and very apt question at this particular context that I will pick up some few words from your question. You talked about sophistication. You talked about industry internationalization or international company. You also talked about industry 4.0. You also talked about no safety gadgets. You also talked about roadside welding. So let me take these words and make a sentence or make a paragraph to answer all this.
Okay.
First and foremost, yes, what you said is rightly that the moment you talk about welding, what comes to our mind is a welder sitting on the roadside doing a brazing application or doing a welding. That comes to my mind, come to everybody's mind. And
Yeah.
second thing is what comes to my mind is the guy who is not well dressed, not well protected, but
Yeah.
doing job somehow, which we all of us know that it's a very important job. Without him, we cannot do anything.
Right.
But we don't pay any attention to his safety.
Right.
Number one. This is, I think, this is nothing to do with welding as a profession. This is to do more with the country mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I think we feel. I always give this particular example that when you buy a mobile, it always comes with a charger. We also always know that without a charger, mobile is useless. Maybe as long as the battery is alive, you can use the mobile. After that, you definitely require a charger.
Right.
But when you buy a welding equipment, we don't bother to supply a welding helmet along with the welding equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can use somebody else's mobile charger and charge your mobile, but you cannot wear a sunglass and do the welding. You definitely require a good quality welding helmet.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the thought process we need to bring into the present context. When I'm talking about the word which I picked up is internationalization. I think I must bring here a small example that the two words which have been used quite frequently in last 2 decades is the globalized world. Yes, I think world is globalized a lot. We travel from one part of the world to other part much easier than what we used to travel. And we are interconnected with every part of the world. That sitting here, if I'm doing this interview, I could live stream it to my friends in US at this point of time, or maybe Australia. Everything is possible.
Yeah.
But we learned every good things about that, but we forgot to learn the good safety and the right training from the best part of the world. I represent an Austrian company, and I learned a lot from them with my last 15 years association. Do things right at the first time and every time. I strongly believe that whatever we have to learn in a right way.
Yeah.
Today, you open a driving school with the best of the infrastructure, best of the office, best of the people to run the school, but you train people with an ambassador car. Driving, it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
So I think somewhere we have to do this mental paradigm shift quite quickly. That's extremely important at this particular point. It's not easy because we Indians are always, it's also easy, it is not easy also because we Indians are always known for jumping the, jumping the generation. We are the people who quickly moved out from a normal mobile set to smartphone much quickly. We are the people who quickly moved from a cash economy to digital economy, which is a matter of pride for all of us that if we are pushed to the wall, we are ready to change much faster than in any part of the world.
Yeah.
I think in welding also this is very much required, and this will come with an education. Not only education to the welder, this will also come to the education with the welding companies also.
Mm-hmm.
With this media, I would request all my welding fraternity people that I think if we all decide that tomorrow we sell a welding equipment or a welding system without, today we are selling without an auto darkening welding helmet, but if we make a decision that my welding equipment will necessarily go with an auto darkening welding helmet, I
Yeah.
think we save, with every welding machine, we save two eyes. Not only that, what is more important that looking at him and looking at the way he dressed, the slow perception of what we are talking about, a roadside welder doing a job, to a person very well dressed with all the safety gadgets. I think this comes to our mind. And then we think that, okay, I should learn welding. I should join thing. Today, I think, see, for any product or any services, everything is beautiful, but until unless it gets a little bit of marketing touch, it
Mm.
doesn't become that beautiful. So I think this is that little bit of marketing touch or little bit of glamorization which is very important for welding, and that is a need of the hour. And the last part of the question is industry 4.0. I think industry 4.0, let me say that just replace industry 4.0 with personal 4.0. I think we are extremely fast. Without personal 4.0 we cannot live.
Mm.
All these days, let's say 5 years back or 8 years back, we were not knowing what's happening in Hyderabad or what's happening in Pune.
Yeah.
But today, sitting even 600 kilometers apart, we are able to strike a conversation and talk to each other. We
Mm.
would like to know what's happening in and around the world. We want to follow certain personalities to know that what's happening, what is there going on in their mind through their tweets or their Facebook or their Instagram. So everything is known. If Virat Kohli is blessed with a baby, it is known to the world in no time, and it gets viral so fast.
Yeah.
So that means, as a personal level, we want to have everything on our fingertips. If you are not known about this thing, we feel that we are out of place. But why not that for the manufacturing process? And why not that for a manufacturing process like welding, which
Yeah.
is where we want to know that how much welding wires have been consumed in my plant today, how much electricity was consumed to do this welding, how much gas was used to do this welding, how much time was taken to manufacture one particular part. I think this everything is possible with Fronius system. It's everything is possible. I'm not only talking about Fronius system. It's possible with other companies' manufacturing system also. But with my personal experience, that all these days we have been talking to Indian customer to implement it, but somehow it's still not implemented the way it is supposed to be implemented. But I'm quite optimistic with all my experience that India jumping the generation. I think the months or years may not be far away that welding industry 4.0 is going to be a very, very true reality. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's nice the way you explained about the need for professionalism, whether it could be the protective gear or it could be the way the person is trained. So I think this also brings another aspect to our conversation about how well are these people getting trained, and what about, let's say, institutions like say ITIs or any other training centers where the welders are getting trained. How do you foresee the change happening here? Is it satisfactory now? And when we talk about industry, let us also look at the MSME and the small industries, which is where most of these people will get employed. So how do you think these issues can be resolved? Because I don't think in very small enterprises and all that, people are even aware of what it means to do welding very professionally, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, there are two aspects. One, you talked about MSME,
Yeah.
and you talked about the scenario of training in India
Hmm.
on today. Let me address the latter part first. The training in India. Let me give an example that I took a team of Indian customers to Austria in the
Mhm.
year 2017, and I visited one of the training school, and there were a group of the refugee kids who were doing the filing, and they were checking with the T-square, is there any gap between the filed plate and the T-square? And somewhere I don't, they were doing this, and I asked the trainer what they are doing. They said they are welders. But I told them that there is no welding machine I could see here. No, he said they are the welders, and this is their part of curriculum that they need to understand the filing. I said, okay, I think it's a good. Maybe I thought maybe it's one of the class, maybe on that particular day, maybe he was teaching them a filing. Then I happened to take another group of Indian customers after 4 months. And this time the group was from the Education Institute. I took around 18 engineering colleges who wanted to have a welding center of excellence in their colleges. So I took them to, and I happened to visit the same institute once again. And when I took them, there are the same students who were again filing and doing the same thing. And I could recognize one of the person, and I asked the instructor, hello, gentlemen, I mean, I was here 4 months back and I could see the same batch, and you are teaching them. He said, yes, still they are not mastered the art of filing perfectly. So, and it's a part of our curriculum that 4 months before they start learn welding, they must know how to file. So this is extremely important. That day, my eyes opened, and I asked him, what is the duration of the welding course? They said it is 3.5 years.
Wow.
For welder. Here we talk about a complete graduation course of 4 years in B engineering. For a welder, you take 3.5 years, and they take these people at the age of 16. So that means by age of 20, this guy is an all-round welder. So in India, so I think I gave a brief an example that what's the big difference between what's happening in some part of the world and what's happening in India. In India, it is a 1-year course for a welder. I'm in this field from last 27 years. If I say I know a few percentage of welding, I would say that it's not right. Welding is a vast subject. If somebody says that I know welding, I think they are lying to themselves. So welding is a vast subject. If you want to learn welding, and especially the people who do with their own hand, 1 year is just not sufficient. For a normal electrician course, we have 2 years course, but for welder who join two metals, it's 1 year course. I think there's a big paradigm shift which needs to happen from government point of view. I would say that we must run a course for at least 3 years for a welder trade. And the second thing is, why I am saying this thing is that there is no difference in welding which is happening in MSME, which is happening in a big industry. One must understand what is MSME. MSME depends on the job directly from his end customer or maybe from the bigger industry. So the bigger industry which are not able to do their job, or if they are to outsource, they are depending on MSME. So if a stainless steel welding has to be happen in MSME, the same stainless steel welding electrodes, same standards have to be followed. In otherwise, if you are doing this job in the bigger industry. So I think one must stop differentiating between the welding happening in MSME and welding happening in big industry. It remains same. It's something like the value of the money in MSME and the value of the money in the bigger industry. It remains same. So what is required is a professionalism. What is required is a big way of shift in our thinking. That will start when you think they are not the welder, they are the joining specialist. If this shift happens, that means then the course can go from 1 year to at least 3 years. And in the 3 years, from a boy at the age of 16, he joins, and at the age of 19, he can become a full-fledged welder, and then he will be able to earn his livelihood much better than what he is able to attract today in the market.
Okay, so my last question would be to follow up with all that you said. You have been contributing much more, to the larger society itself, for the development of the profession as well, by conducting training and many other activities. So probably you can tell us a little more about how you are going out of the way perhaps to not only spread the message of making it aspirational, but helping young people get into this profession, and also recognizing women welders, encouraging them, and maybe a little bit about these initiatives will help us understand your vision for welding.
Yeah, vision for welding is again making ensuring that let's get connected with industry at one side, and let's get connected with the talent available at the colleges. So our initiative, the before COVID, we started the first Friday of every month is one full day. We were offering free training program for all the people who aspire to learn welding at our headquarter as well as our regional offices. We used to provide them the training and with all the required training material, and also the food and everything free of cost with a certification. The idea was that at least people should start coming to our facility and know what is welding. Today, if you go to a college, welding lab will be in somewhere in the corner. We want to bring that to the forefront. We want to make people that, yes, I want to learn welding and I want to be a part of India's GDP growth. And it's not possible without welding. Second thing is women welder. Yeah, I think his government is doing a lot in this in terms of when you take to the Indian Railways, in some of the railway workshop, you find only the women welder. Fronius India decided to celebrate International Women's Day with a women welding professional challenge. For that, we tied up with the C.V. Raman College of Engineering, who has a center of excellence in welding with us at Bhubaneswar. We did last 3 years, and this year we wanted to do, but I think now it's because of the sudden spike and other things. We have our own reservation of the participant traveling, so maybe we may have to defer, and we want to shift it to the 15th August because we want to get independence from gender bias. So hopefully by that time things should be clear. And the third thing we want to do through social media, we want to advertise the people who are the people who are from a background economically not so well background, who made their career in welding, and how well they are supporting their family and how well they are enjoying this job. So we are trying to showcase that in our LinkedIn pages. We want to capture their moments through video and saying they speaking about what welding means for them. So just trying to do a small advertisement for welding. Just try to do a small advertisement for a skill of welding so that people can make their livelihood. And we have many more things lined up when it comes to make. We have we have promoted one of our colleague as a full-time student and Fronius connecting conduit. This guy is job is to visit engineering colleges and get the people to our tech and technology center. We are planning to charge a mere 1,500 rupees for 2 days program, where we will give them a complete overview of welding. We make them practice welding. We make them practice welding on a virtual platform, through virtual welding simulator, so that they understand what's welding a little bit and they get attracted. So his job is only to do this. This year we have a plan to cover 5,000 students across the country. So this is our little bit from our side, and I think if this happens systematically, if this effectively it happens, I'm sure even 10% of them get attracted to welding. I think the job is done. So that's from our side. And as far as women welding professional is concerned, we are always open to recruit women welders in India. We always trying to join hands with the Indian Institute of Welding. We are already sponsoring the annual welding engineer competition for next 3 years. We are the sponsor for that, and wherever women or wherever the girl child wants to learn welding, I think through this forum, I would like to urge all of them, especially the women welder. If you want to learn welding, please get connected with us. Connected with Fronius India. We will definitely go out of the way to support you. So that's all from our side. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kamath. I think on that note, we from NSN would be more than delighted to reach out to more people and share your message and help them help them understand welding, do it hands-on, and like you said, especially women. So we will try our best to reach out. And thanks a lot for talking to me today. I look forward to be in touch with you. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Jai Hind.